The news of the Pope's passing has reached into all walks of lives. Even in the culture world, it's been on the mind of many Hollywood stars. We're going to take a look at that now with our culture editor, Olivia Salazar-Winspear, who joins me now on the set. It seems like the Pope's death has resonated with many artists, hasn't it?
Yes, and like you mentioned, especially in Hollywood, including perhaps the most famous Italian-American, arguably, of those talents, Martin Scorsese, who was a great admirer of the Pope. And upon hearing the news, he told the industry magazine Variety that Pope Francis was, quote, in every way a remarkable human being. He acknowledged his own failings and he radiated wisdom. And then Scorsese went on to comment on his passing, saying that the loss for the world is immense, but he left a light behind and it can never be extinguished. Now, he was actually a regular at the Vatican and had met with the Pope several times over the course of his career. Apparently, the two of them shared a mutual appreciation for the arts. And just 2 years ago, in 2023, after meeting Pope Francis, the filmmaker announced he'd be making another feature centered on the life of Jesus, because he'd previously portrayed the biblical figure in 1988, The Last Temptation of Christ, starring Willem Dafoe. And then his film in 2016, Silence, also dealt with the Catholic Church in a more historical way. So this new film is apparently in the works, but we don't have many details about it. Someone else who's also dealt with Bible stories in his career on screen is Russell Crowe. He played Noah in the 2014 film. And since his role in Gladiator, he spent a lot of time in Rome. He's become a great fan, very attached to the Italian capital. He tweeted his response on the former platform Twitter, now X, saying, "A beautiful day in Rome," with a photograph there of Rome, "but a sad day for the faithful. R.I.P. Francis." Now, on a much lighter note, someone else who's played a religious figure, perhaps in a more contemporary way, in the form of Sister Mary Clarence in the Sister Act films, Whoopi Goldberg, of course, posted this very heartfelt message saying that he was the closest in a long time who seemed to remember that Christ's love enveloped believer and non-believer. Sail on, Pope Francis, with your love of humanity and laughter. And so now, of course, Jeannie, we've heard that the conclave will gather for the selection of a new pope in the next couple of weeks, I think it will be. And it harks back to that extraordinary film which was released at the end of last year, Conclave, starring Ralph Fiennes. It won the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay, and as well as the praise that the film received for its beautiful cinematography and shooting in, I think, many of the authentic locations in the Vatican. Many critics who saw it were very surprised that the papal conclave, the process, could be so interesting and so suspenseful. And it appears that the film was just a preview of what we're going to experience in terms of a sense of suspense over the next
Yeah,
days.
absolutely. I think a lot of people are going to be watching what's happening at the Vatican, waiting for that white smoke with new attention after having seen Conclave. All right, we're going to step away from the Pope, but still focus on films, Olivia, with you now, because the countdown to the Cannes Film Festival is on, and they've already announced the feature films that are competing for the Palme d'Or. But we've also just found out, just recently, the poster, or should I say posters, for the festival.
It's quite an unprecedented event. There's 2 posters this year. The festival often, almost always, chooses an iconic image from the history of cinema. And this year's scene dates back to 1965, 60 years ago. The Man and the Woman from Claude Lelouch's Un homme et une femme, A Man and a Woman. Those are the actors Anouk Aimée and Jean-Louis Trintignant, both of them winners of the Best Actor, Best Actress prize at Cannes during the course of their careers. Both of them, sadly, no longer with us. That film went on to win the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival in 1966. It also won 2 Oscars the following year. And this poster will be printed in 2 versions. One version with the woman's face facing us, visible, and the other one with the man's face visible. So it's perhaps the most famous and moving embrace in all of French cinema. So I think the festival has decided that we all need a little bit more romance in our lives.
Indeed, and seen from both sides of the coin. I really like that they chose to do that. Thank you so much for that, Olivia. Olivia Salazar-Winspear with your Culture Update. You're watching France 24. Don't go away. We're going to take a quick break. I'll be back in a few minutes with more.